Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke and my pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills, my pronouns are he and him, and before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for me today, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. All right, let's get into it. Matty. You're looking quite chesty today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know that you're doing a really amazing challenge at the moment. Yes. The push-up challenge. Mm-hmm. Hence the boobies.
Yeah.
For mental health. Tell me about this.
Well, over the last little while, mental health has sort of been a focus of mine. I've been doing a lot of physical activity, which has then shown benefits in my mental health. And over the last little while, it's had to be a focus for me because I suppose I had a bit of a mental health issue and I went downhill because some, traumatic things happened in my life. And I feel like it really impacted me and it impacted the way that I was able to operate in the world. I was able to do my job. I was able to, some days I couldn't even get out of bed. But I feel like I've done a lot of work. And it was at the end of last year where I sort of had to create routine and structure and make sure that I put in the good work to improve my mental health.
You're so self-aware. I mean, to come to that realization in itself is it just encapsulates a lot of strength and a lot of looking within. Kind of like if you were to look at yourself from a bird's eye view, being like, okay, this is what's happened, but how do I get better? And not a lot of people can do that,
I feel like the person who I have to be accountable to is myself. And in the past, I struggled with understanding what I needed to do to get to a better point, especially with my mental health. And I've done a lot of trial and error, and I've sort of been able to focus on the good in my life and put all the bullshit and the stuff that creates an uneasy feeling for me to the side. And it's been hard work. It actually hasn't been easy. But the push-up challenge is this new thing that's going on in my life, and it's basically Australia's largest health and fitness event, which raises awareness for mental health and in particular suicide. And for someone like me, who's a young First Nations man, suicide is the leading cause of death in our community. So it aligns so much with who I am, but also what I've been through. And in 2022, 3,249 people lost their lives by suicide. And that number to me is just an astounding figure that I want to see decreased. And being an ambassador for the Push-Up Challenge means that I'm able to raise awareness and crucial funds for resources that will hopefully have positive impact on people's mental health and decrease that number of suicide in our country. So I'll be doing 3,249 push-ups between June 5th and the 28th, but I'll break it down on a daily goal, which is around 130 push-ups.
A day?
130 push-ups a day. But look, if that target seems like it's unachievable, there is a way to be able to, still be involved. You can halve the target. You can do squats. You could do lunges. You could do sit-ups.
Okay,
Whatever you need to do to really, help raise awareness and also raise funds. And it's not, something that I speak about often, like my mental health, but I've become more comfortable with it because I know that I've seen the benefits of physical fitness to my mental health. So I can actually talk from a point of view that is...
So obviously it's about mental health. So I wonder, why have they chosen to do a physical thing? Is it to show it's a mental challenge to get through that physical thing, or is it just to focus on mental health and physical health go side by side?
Yeah, I think that, they're symbiotic, they play a part in each other's, wellness. So for me, my physical health, I've seen major benefits to my mental health, but I've also done therapy. So I've done the mental work as well. And being able to unpack things with a therapist has been crucial to my mental health improving. But a study shows that 97% of people who took part in this challenge in previous years said that they had an increase in their mood and an increase in their, the positivity of how they were thinking with their mental health. So
just by doing push-ups, you're already increasingly improving your mental health, which is amazing.
It's a really good initiative to get behind because, it's about also having a little daily goal. And with each daily goal that you set, you get a mental health fact on the app. So you're learning about mental health as well. So there's just so much to this. And I feel really proud to be an ambassador this year. And also I can, really talk from personal experience. And I think that's, important to share.
Can I ask you what your chosen charity is?
There's 3 charities that you can choose within the event. So
Yep.
there's Lifeline, there's Headspace, and there's the Push for Better Foundation.
Amazing.
And I'm hopefully going to be able to work with a local charity, which is either through Lifeline or Headspace. So what you can do is the funds that you donate or fundraise can actually be selected to go towards a local charity. So I'm hoping that I can partner with Lifeline and have that filter down to my local community in Tamworth. So that's a really important thing.
So you're going grassroots, you know, like it's going straight into community. Yeah.
Straight into community. And I just know how much mental health affects our community as well. So, you know, these are national services, Lifeline and Headspace are, and the Push for Better Foundation is also a really great charity, and that also is a way for people to not know where their money's going, but going, oh, okay, well, if I've raised $200 and I want to give back to my own community where I see that there is a need, you can give back. So, it's awesome.
And this is going on for the next month? Or?
Well, it starts on June 5th.
Okay.
And it goes until June 28th. So we're in the pre-lead-up phase at the moment, getting prepped for it, but also getting the word out there, raising awareness. And at the moment, registrations are open. So you can do it by yourself. You can create a team, or you could do it with some colleagues. Like, if I had a terrible boss, I'd be getting them onto my team and then dishing out some push-ups to them to do each day.
Oh, my God. This is like the best revenge ever.
Exactly.
I love this.
You know, get a group of exes together and just give them 100 push-ups a day.
Oh my God, yes, I need that. Or a sibling.
Yeah, or
talking
a sibling.
Talking about siblings. Maybe I'll get my brother to do this.
Eden, who's coming up in the episode, it's a perfect way to, maybe get him onto his health and fitness.
Well, Eden and I actually, you know, we're close, but he's not very much a talker, so this will be very interesting to have him on the podcast. So we'll see how it goes.
How are you feeling about them coming on?
I'm really excited. I mean, you know, this is a huge challenge for them. They've never been around this sort of stuff. I mean, obviously they've participated in doing some filming with The Bachelorette, but it's so different. I mean, I wanted to bring him into the studio just to have a day in a life of what I do in a day and show them this is what I'm working on. This is what I do. So, you know, they can visualize that when they go back home and be like, oh, yeah, I'm working on the podcast, and they can, you know, be in studio and feel what that is like. So
I love that. And your sister-in-law, Jackie, she's 6 months pregnant.
She is.
Now, I want to know one thing. We've spoken about it in the past.
Of course.
Whether or not she's going to name her baby after your mum, or you
can
name your first child.
I know.
Let's see if we
this
get that
is a
out
big
of her.
moment. So, my family have come over all the way from Karratha, which, if you don't know where that is, it's pretty much nearly at the top of WA. I've got my brother, who's Eden.
Yep, that's me.
My sister-in-law, Jackie,
Hello.
who's 6 months pregnant with my niece. And who's this? What's your name?
Tyrell.
Tyrell.
Tyrell, and he's 7. So Eden's never been to Melbourne. This is his first time to Melbourne, Matty. Where Jackie was born here. She's Victorian, but she moved when she was younger. So yeah, Eden and I grew up in Carnarvon. Eden, how much older are you than me?
33, I'll be 34 this year.
And he used to torment me a lot. Eden and I were more close when we were younger, and then he got too cool for me and then left me, and then got into his like metal music and was like, I'm too cool for my sister. So
heavy metal?
Teenage drama stuff.
teenage drama. Jackie and Eden have been together for a very long time.
10 to 15 years.
Wow. What's the secret to longevity?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I don't know. I can't answer that. Put up with it.
I think you guys are a good team. I think you work well.
We do work.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say, like, this is just my own personal opinion. I think Jackie's very extroverted, and I'd say Eden's introverted, and it kind of just works. Yeah. Eden was on The Bachelor. Do you remember? No, actually, no. Troy was. Sorry. I was going to ask Eden, but then I was like, absolutely not. Like, he would have hated that. We did the backstory and stuff together for The Bachelorette. Eden really never done TV stuff, eh?
Isn't it boring, Eden?
Boring listening to it. But whilst I was listening to it, I was actually sick with food poisoning or something.
Oh,
screwing up.
no.
Yeah. Well, the hardest thing was, like, when we did the Bachelorette, like, Kai had just passed. And so, like, that impact on our family was pretty, like, heavy. Then I had to try and rally up all my family to try and do a backstory in that time, which just seemed so, like, honestly, like, fucked.
Yeah, I'm so fucking
close your
sorry
eyes.
you had to go through that, sis. Like, that seems like there was not a lot of care in terms of production, you know, making time
There was
for you.
no duty of care. Like, that was the frustrating thing. Like, it wasn't just me. Like, this is my whole family. Like, we all had to come down. We were staying at a place in Subiaco, hey, and they all flew them down. Production flew you down, hey, yeah. And they were like, well, you need to do it this, like, particular day. And it was the day before we were doing the funeral. Like,
Wow.
and we were going through sorry business. And it was just like, what the hell? Like, why do we have to do this right now? And I just couldn't wait because I needed it all. And it was just really heavy, like, just trying to put on, like, a brave face and try to also grieve at the same time, and, like, organising a funeral, which is not very fun, as you know, like, but funerals always, like, happen.
Yeah.
There's always a funeral every week. I don't know what it's like in Karratha, but...
Pretty much.
It feels like it's, you know, it is representative of our community in terms of what we go through. Like, you know, no matter how great our lives may seem, there's always some sort of contra to that where it's like, you know, a funeral or sorry business or something happening with family that you need to fix and find a solution for. Like, as blackfellas, I feel like constantly pulled in two directions. Like, your life can be, you know, you could be having the biggest moment of your life filming The Bachelorette, but then, you know, tragically your sister passes away. I feel like that story in itself is so common in our communities, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when something is great, you know, you're pulled back down by something. And I feel like that happens a lot. Like, I felt that.
Yeah. Well, we know, like, there's not many weddings, hey, or, like, celebrations in our communities. Hey, Eden, like... How many funerals have you been into in your life? I know that's a pretty morbid question, but, like...
I've lost count. It's just lots of family and extended family and family and friends as well. So I've been to, I don't know, well over probably 50 or something.
50 funerals. Well, we need more weddings. Jackie drives past this shop yesterday. She's like, oh, wedding dress. And
isn't that a hint?
Yeah. And Ian's like, why would I want a wedding dress? And Jackie's like, I wasn't saying you needed a wedding dress.
Next minute, that shop, rings, diamonds, rings.
So we got really exciting, I guess, talking about celebrations. Like, we're really excited because Jackie is 6 months pregnant and it's going to be the first girl we've had, you know...
Since you were born, yeah.
Since I was born,
On your mum's side?
On my mum's side, yeah. We've all had boys.
Yep.
So it's a big moment. Like, it's actually, I don't know. I don't know if you feel the weight of this, Jackie, but she's feeling the weight because she's 6 months in. She's like,
I literally feel the weight.
But this is Eden's second child, first daughter. How do you feel?
I definitely felt a little bit of pressure when I announced. 20 minutes later, it's, are you going to use mum's name?
Yeah.
I think there's a rush.
That was true, not me. So, yeah, I guess when Jackie announced over Christmas, which was really special, she had these boxes. They had a photo of Tyrell saying, I'm going to be a big brother or something. Yeah. And we were all shocked, like, all of us. Like, we were like, holy shit. And because obviously it's a bit of a thing in our family, which I've spoken about before, is the first daughter kind of gets right away to ask and sort of take mum's name, which is Sienna.
Yep.
But Jackie decided to go for...
It was all Eden, actually. Sienna is a beautiful name, but it's something that I would normally not pick.
Yeah.
But I did give Eden the choice. If he wanted to use it, it's there. But we've decided to go with mum's middle name, Lee.
Lee. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. What's the baby's name?
Luna.
Luna.
Marie.
Oh, beautiful.
Luna Marie. Lee. Bobby.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And Luna means moon.
I wanted to ask, like, I want to ask Eden, what was Brooke like as a young Brooke? Like, what are your favourite memories of her?
I suppose Brooke was always a bit of a busybody, little neat, princessy type.
Don't. I would never imagine that. Like, I mean, the neat part, yes, but the princess? Really? I thought she was going to be like, I thought you were going to say...
a bit of a princess syndrome going on.
I was very clean.
Yeah.
And I think Eden would interpret that as a princess because
No, I was always out of the house and go and play,
Mm.
and you always stuck around with Nana, listening to her stories and stuff like that, and helped around the house where all us older kids are going doing fun things.
Yeah. Was Brooke like because I remember when I was young, people described me as like a little detective. I knew everything, and I would ask a million questions. Was Brooke really inquisitive? Like she wanted to know everything?
I used to bring home homework from primary school, and she used to sit down there and do some of the spelling things with her.
Aww.
I don't know, you remembered that.
Yeah, I was back in their refuge there in Gadigal.
Wow, we only talked about the refuge the other day.
Yeah. I did, yeah.
I just remembered all these memories like that I didn't even know were there.
Yeah, and you know what's even more weird? When you have a memory of something that's different to your siblings. Like when I told the story about the fridge and the freezer being taken, my brother said, it was the fridge and the washer machine. And I was like, what? And so like sometimes you sort of have a little bit of discrepancy with your memories, you know?
Yeah, different perspectives. Yeah. I mean, I remember there was this one moment when Eden got really hurt and he jumped off the roof and you broke your pinky, like you smashed.
Oh, no, that was a construction site. It was freshly
I thought it was the roof.
No, the wall was freshly bricked up that day, and I walk on top balance and go walk around the edges of it.
Yeah.
That's right. See, now I'm remembering.
I did the same thing on this freshly laid brick wall in a construction site.
It crumbled.
And it crumbled on me.
Oh!
It fell on my back. And
yeah. And, okay, this is the funniest story as well in the Greens.
Oh, neighbours, yeah.
So I talk about this story in the book as well. And it's about when Eden and I, we had these neighbours called the Greens, and we were so hungry, hey, we just wanted to feed. And we broke into the Greens' house. Breaking an entry, I don't know if this is criminal, but we were kids, we were in survival. And Eden coerced me into jumping the fence where we already knew the dogs, so they were just licking us, hey. This is how I remember the story, and then I want to know how you see it. So pretty much we jumped the fence, jumped on the trampoline. The dogs were like licking us. We went through the back fence and you went straight for the fridge and I followed you and like screw anything else. We didn't want to take anything else. All we wanted was the food. And I ended up also taking a blue eyeshadow palette. And then that was it. That we just raided the fridge, had some food and then left.
Well, we jumped through a window, played a Nintendo 64, then wandered off into the kitchen where the alarm went off before we actually got any food. Then we pissed Bardon and hit over the fence, and just as we hit over the fence, there our van returned, and we seen it drive straight in the driveway, so we got out in like 3 seconds.
Wow, there you go. Fills in the gaps.
Yeah.
Well, this is already published now. The story's already there. I can't go back and be like, oh, this isn't actually so wrong.
Reprint.
Yeah, reprint.
But I think it's
funny.
funny though, because like I think also in those moments you've had different experiences. Well, yes, the facts are the facts, but like you remember certain things, how you felt in the moment. They remember how they felt. I want to ask a question around Brooke's journey on TV. What was your first reaction when she started to get into the spotlight and become like this media personality?
Still kind of feels surreal, really, since we just grew up with her.
Has Brooke changed at all over the years? Like, has the fame gone to her head?
Oh, it's kind of hard to say since, when we broke up from as kids.
Yeah.
Never really seen that progress and change of her in the 10 years going through high school and stuff. So still see her as a little sister we grew up with, but
yeah.
So it means I haven't. Okay? Yeah. Means I haven't.
Reading between the lines, you're saying? No.
But no, Eden makes a valid point. Like we separated when I was 11. You were probably like 15, 16. Eden actually left. You went down to Perth. You were attending school in Woodvale. Yeah. And then you came back up. I just have a curious question because I've never really asked you directly. Like, was that a hard transition? I
suppose growing up it was kind of normal for us, really, because it shifted around so much. I was a bit overwhelming with 1,600 kids there.
Yeah.
I was only a small percentage of
the black folk
and Aboriginals.
Yeah. How did you find that experience, like being one of the only black people?
Oh, it was weird. I just sit around, just eat by myself on a little bench. Everyone just walking past looking at me, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, a group of kids just come up and like, hey, man, I'm sick of seeing you sitting by yourself. Come sit with us.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can sort of relate to that, Eden. I went to a school where I was the first black fella to ever go to the school. So I remember feeling that, like, it wasn't the same. And all the kids who went to that school were super wealthy. And I always had to lie about what my family did or where I came from because I felt like I could never fit in. But I was, I had, like, lack of friends for a good little while when I first started there. But I suppose when you're in a common experience with people, some of that stuff just falls away and you just become mates because you're going through the same thing, whether it's school or boarding school or whatever. But I remember feeling like, I'm the only black fellow in this school. My school clothes are way too big for me so that they fit me for like the next 3 years. I was a target. And I feel like some of that stuff does fall away and you become mates and all of that stuff just doesn't matter to you.
I felt like when I was going through that no friends kind of situation, I was like, okay, this is only a short period of time. But it's hard because, like, now I'm working in transition and I get how it would feel at that age. Like, as in, like, I've been there, sort of done that. But then I think, well, Eden had done it, so I was like, I can do, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'd seen my brother move away from home, like, away from us. So I was like, okay, like, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't really get the opportunity because then obviously Mum passed away, but I still kind of, like, did out of default. But at the same time, I was like, okay, like, can't be that bad. But I was probably, like, one of 3 Aboriginal kids that graduated from my school too.
Yeah. So when Brooke was on when she was the Bachelorette, did you watch the season? And if you did, was there anyone on there who you wanted her to pick?
I watched some of it when someone else was watching it. It's not a show I particularly watch.
See, these brothers of ours, this is how my brother would go. I'm telling you, my brothers, if I was to do some massive show, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm going
okay, they keep you humble that day.
Yeah, I'm going to play touch football on the road outside. Like,
yeah, I get that. No. Jackie, did you watch it?
Of course I watched it.
Yeah.
He would roll his eyes at me, and I'm like, Brooke, blah, 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 on this, he's that end.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever.
Don't worry, my brother's the same, Brooke, don't worry.
Actually, honest opinion, what did you think of the person that I picked?
The Bachelorette.
Point exactly.
But look, he was okay.
He was the hottest one. You picked the hottest one.
I know. I just picked the looker of the looks, to be fair.
It's funny.
All right. I get so excited. Like, these guys don't really know how much, like, I get excited to spend time with and make memories. And I think, like, over the years and every time we've kind of got together every Christmas, we've, like, created better memories. And I think the reason for that, and I don't know if these guys will know, is, like, creating better memories to outweigh the shitty ones. Mm-hmm. And I think we've really got to a point in our lives, I feel, that we are all, like, enjoy that time, hey? Like, we get together and we really absorb it and take it all in because we know that we can only do that, like, very rarely. And these guys coming to Melbourne's, like, such a big thing for me because, like, well, this is my home for the moment, even though it's not home. But now I don't really feel like Perth is really home because it's like I've been away from it for such a long time. The only time it ever feels like home is when I'm with these guys and, like, with my family. And I get sad because you guys are all having babies. And I genuinely thought that I was going to be the first one to have a baby out of all of us. And I was very surprised that Eden and Jackie.
I was going to say, I bet you between
I'm still surprised.
The family, Eden being the first one to pop out, well, not saying he popped out the child, but to have a child would have been shocking for we were definitely shocked when we were.
But yeah, it's crazy because now my brother's onto his first as well. Eden's onto his second and I'm onto my fur one. Yay, me!
It's so much easier just having a fur one, trust me.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something ridiculous? On the weekend, I was out on Friday night with my partner's friends, and I had the stupid idea that I said to her, we're going to have a baby in the future, and you would be a great like, potential mother, right? This is when I've had a few drinks. She turns around on yesterday morning, sends me a message. I'm so ready to start this journey with you guys. We need to start now. She sends me a video with her and her husband. Like, yeah, we're okay. We approve. I'm like, what the fuck did I say to this woman? So she thinks now she's having a baby with me. I'm like, no, you're the wrong person.
I don't know. The more I get older and the more I'm like, I'm just kind of at the stage where I wouldn't mind just having a baby myself.
Yeah, well, if you want to have one, we go 50-50.
Yeah. Do you really picture me with having a partner? Like, that's the thing.
I can see it, but it's just not anytime soon.
There you go. The truth bombs. I love when my family come in and give me truth bombs. Apparently, I'm a princess.
Yeah.
I'm a neat princess. Tell me how you really feel.
It's funny.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you, Tyrell.
Yeah, thanks.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye to everyone who's listening. Love you. Oh, my God. My family are mad, eh?
I love them, but gee, they dish some dirt on you.
I know, little princess. How my brother goes, little princess ways.
Yeah.
I think what he means by that is that I was very particular, and and still
That's
like
what I
that.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still like that, and the funny memories that you share, but you have different views on. That is so funny. You should also ask your brothers what other stories they know that you.
Well, you know what? Next time they're here, we'll bring them in.
Yeah,
and maybe a little niece or nephew, because Tyrell, he's so cute.
He's so chatty normally. Like he was very quiet. Yeah,
yeah.
But,
Well, you got to take him to the aquarium.
I know. We're going to be busy this trip, but far out, my bank account's going to be empty.
That's the way, you know, they come to Sydney and Uncle's now broke.
Also, how funny we were late. So, you see, proper Rachael knows now. Proper blackfella time.
Yeah, blackfella time equals glacial pace.
Exactly. Repeat after me.
Yeah.
Blackfella time equals glacial pace.
Wow.
Okay, talking about time, that's all we have time for today. So thank you so much for listening to First Things First and hearing from my family. If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a review.
Well, if you want us to cover anything on the pod, make sure you reach out via our DMs, and you can reach Brooke at brooke.blurton. You can reach me at It's Matty Mills, and check out all the other Nova podcasts at Nova Podcast Official.
Bye.
All right, Emma, bye.
See ya. Catch ya.